He was the shining star of the future of basketball before he even started high school. He just raised the level of the entire league and has continued to do that. The ultimate champion. The experience of playing with a guy with his level of IQ and his game speaks for itself, what he's been able to accomplish on the court, and his style of play matches well. A guy that can dribble, pass, shoot, and being able to work off of him, it's been pretty seamless just because you usually try to just make the right play and something good will happen. We've seen what Bron's been doing in the last couple of games, especially closing out games, so the chemistry is pretty natural.
Here's LeBron. Look at that. You saw that coming.
There is no denying like his greatness in terms of what he can do on the court. And like sometimes you're in, even when you're playing against him, you're in awe because it's like the way he can control the tempo of the game, the way he can dominate scoring, passing, just his overall just presence and his IQ, like all that stuff. Like we all talk about it. And you have to appreciate your competition if you want to beat him because there's got to be that, as coach would call it, the appropriate fear.
Absolutely.
But
LeBron, he's a cool guy.
I met LeBron back when I was in college and at Davidson.
I'll never be so far removed from the time like I was in Detroit playing in the Sweet 16 game. So to be in the tournament run, and I wish y'all could have been like on our team bus, like driving up to or in Detroit, going back and forth from the game, and you hear these rumors like, hey, I think LeBron's coming to the game. Like, what? Somebody called the Davidson staff for some tickets for Braun to sit in our section. What are you talking about? This is right, it's probably his fourth year in the league. And so nobody believed he'd show up. And then we get to the Ford Field, and lo and behold, like right when the tip-off is coming, here comes Rich, Braun, I was trying to think who else was over there. And like 5 or 6 people, and he's there just being a fan and watching us play. So, and then he came out to a tournament game when we played Wisconsin and watched us play as well. So I know he's a fan of the tournament and certain personalities in the college game and whatnot. He showed crazy support for me and my team. I met him and talked to him a couple of times back then.
He's a guy that actually, for me, when I was coming through college, when I first met him, he came to a couple of my games.
And this dude is maybe in his 4th or 5th year in the league, and he's coming to my game, supporting and cheering and doing all that stuff, even at the place he was at in his career as the future superstar and, like you said, Hall of Famer, potentially greatest of all time. Like,
just real down to earth, approachable. Gave me a lot of mental, nuggets that I could take with me as I started my own NBA career. Obviously, as a basketball player, the dude's amazing. So
I don't know how people knew this. He gave me a jersey when I was in high school. When I was in college, at Davidson, and I still have it on the wall at my parents' house back in Charlotte. I still have in my dad's house in North Carolina. I still have a Bron jersey on the wall in my bedroom. He signed the next year. He came to Charlotte and I went to the game. And he signed a jersey, and it's like the greatest shooter in North Carolina or something like that. And he signed it, and I kept it.
Wow.
And he wrote it like to the king of basketball in North Carolina and signed it and all that. So like I'll never be too far removed from like where I came from in terms of this journey.
Gave me the shoes after the game and all that. So it's still wild just to think about the journey since then. Because who would have ever thought that?
Who else you want to play with?
There's some in today's game, but Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's the one.
Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with, for sure, in today's game.
And in terms of like him picking out one player that he would want besides his son that he would want to play with, and my name comes up, it is definitely, it's surreal.
Because I believe in 08, 09, or whenever that little light skin came in the league, that's in Golden State. He single-handedly changed the no lead is safe.
If you take a fantasy draft and you're like building a team out and you got what Bron can do and the way that I can shoot the ball, like obviously there's like a curiosity, like what would that look like? But also there's a realism of like, that's why I said I'm good right now. It's just, you can never let your mind go from what you know is your situation, what is your moment, your time, and who I've been rocking with from day one. So that's my best answer at it, because it's fantasy, it's wild, but there's a respect and appreciation there's a surrealness because of where I came from and how we first interacted back when I was in college. But if this was 2K, that'd be pretty lethal. To think, fast forward, 6 years later, we'd be playing against each other in the finals and all that. It's just a wild experience.
I'd say in terms of one guy being able to change the course of a game the way he can, he controls the pace. He does things that you kind of look like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter sometimes how great a defense you play on him. And sheer strength and power to get to the basket. He's obviously developed that outside game that keeps you honest. You need all antennas up, all 5 guys every night, and if you don't bring it, he's liable to try to expose you. So in terms of that first championship run, matching up with him, and some of the stuff that he did on a nightly basis, it was spectacular. But at the end of the day, that gives you even more competitiveness and fire to try to figure out how to overcome it and still win. And it gives you a little bit more gratifying feeling when you do too. So,
at the time, it's like, oh, this great story about this college kid at this small school, Dell's son or whatever, and LeBron is at his game. Could you ever have imagined playing against Braun in the finals 5 straight times at that point?
Nobody will ever believe it. It's just because it's a great question. That's exactly. I wouldn't, after we lost in the Elite Eight to Kansas, even at that point, I still wasn't thinking about the league. Like, the first question I got in the locker room after the game was like, hey, you declaring for the draft? I was like, what? What are you talking? Like, we're in here crying, like, mad we lost, and it's the first time I really kind of contemplated like that would be, that was the time. Obviously I knew that was the end goal, but it wasn't a means to an end type of situation.
How would you describe you and LeBron? Because it's evident when you're out there playing, there is a rivalry.
He's in the way of me getting another trophy, and I was in the way the last 3 years, and you battle it out. So beyond that, we're 2 totally different people, and a lot of different things going on. We're in different times in our careers and things like that. So I don't take it any further than that. Besides, the last 3 years, I've tried to win a championship, and he's been on the other side.
How do you sort of contextualize that year as part of your career?
It comes with a lot of emotions, right? You just explained it really well. The 73-9 chase, you're starting 24-0, coming off a championship, getting everybody's best shot, and still winning. We're about to be 2-time defending champs back to back, and the whole vibe. And know how it ended. What I say about that 3-1 situation is, I've never seen 2 guys play at that level
For 3 straight
games. It's the
games.
craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, Bron and Kyrie were just on. Like, we played well. They just played better, and it was hard to watch and be in that vibe where you couldn't do anything about it. And we still had an opportunity to win Game 5 and 7 down the stretch, and then the Kevin Love possession, which is one of my if there's one play I know I should have done something different, it's that one. There's way more time on the clock than I thought. Me trying to answer Kyrie's 3 over me was kind of in my head, and you force up a shot and you kind of lose momentum, and they win on your home floor. But you can always tip your hat to somebody who just outplayed you, and that's what they did for 3 straight games.
Whether it be your first time with him at his Cleveland house or another time, the best time the 2 of you have ever had together?
It was probably that. We went bowling in his house, which was pretty cool. And he actually.
You were a young guy then, right?
Solid. My rookie year in the league. And it was him and his 2 sons were around, and we were playing bowling. We were bowling, watching some basketball games at his house, and we played in Cleveland. But he's pretty solid bowler. I didn't have a chance. Yeah, I didn't have a chance that day. And then the next day they beat us in Cleveland, so I was 0 for 2 that week against LeBron.
This guy is from a different planet. He literally has an automatic sniper connected to his arm, and when he lets it go, not only himself, but everybody on the floor, in the stands, on TV, on their phones, whatever you're watching on, you think it's going in every time. 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10, it does go in. So to be out there and watch, that kid from Akron as well, shoot the ball the way he shot it, it was unbelievable. It was pretty cool.